What's up, guys? Derek here, back for another VOD review. We're doing another Dishsoap VOD review of his Worlds in Houses. We talked through this last video, but if you didn't catch it, he is playing against a bunch of people who are going to get the World Championships in, what's today? Thursday? It's literally under 24 hours until Worlds, which is pretty crazy. What's also pretty crazy is that I just put out a tier list guide on my Tactor profile, the best comps of patch 14.4. I'm actually not going to make a dedicated video for this. I just like the guide. You should like the guide if you enjoy the content. I literally had someone come to my Discord and talk about my guide I put out for the last video, my random tips and tricks, and they said, Sub-Zero, I was D3, I was having trouble hitting my rank goal of Masters. I read your guide and I legit spiked from D3 just straight to Masters in like one play session, or I don't know if it was one play session, but in a short amount of time. And I said, you know what? That's great advertising for my guide. So check out the guide from the last video, the guide from this video. There's gonna be a link to my guide down below. And if you want to look at all my guides, there's a link to my Tactor profile. But yeah, we got Worlds coming up so soon. I didn't catch what that was Guardian Tariq chosen, so we're just gonna go for that. Component Buffet, a fantastic pickup as usual. I mean, usually it's a fantastic pickup. Ooh, there's an interesting spot, because usually I would like something like a Sunfire Slam here. I think it's like a really solid starting item here. And, you know, like the obvious idea would be like Sunfire IE, if you want to go for something like that. The only problem is that IE kind of stinks on Jinx, but I think he is just going to go for the Sunfire IE setup. He's not even going to slam. Wow, this is beautiful stuff for Mr. Soap here. He is saying, I don't need to slam here to win this fight, so why should I? Why should I ever slam here? It's a little, I mean, it's really not that scary. Our board's very upgraded, so yeah, don't slam the Sunfire, don't slam the IE. We can wait, because yeah, like this IE item, it's fine. It's really like fine on something like an Ezreal, and oof, yeah, this Pantheon in is so nice for the 4 Guardian here. Our board's gonna be insanely tanky with the Sunfire. This is a great start. But yeah, like the IE is fine. It's just really like not the best as far as items you can make for this AD flex comp. A lot of people used to think it was really good, but the problem is that it kind of stinks on Zed. It's really good on Ezreal, but it's just not even very good on Zed because his Shadow Clone Jutsus, they can't crit, so it's kind of not ideal on him in any case. But yeah, we got Worlds in like I said, under 24 hours. At this point, it's like a little under 12 hours probably when this video is coming out. It is 4 a.m. Pacific time for my North American viewers. If you're somewhere else, then convert it to your own local time zone, which is not the worst if you're on like East Coast. So if you want to watch it, tune in. I'm going to be co-streaming it with Kai, I believe, every day, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Though technically I work Friday, so it's going to be a little bit on the down low. But like I don't have that much work to do tomorrow, so I'm just going to wake up really early and co-stream. And like if my boss calls me while I'm co-streaming, I'll just turn the co-stream off for, I mean, I'll just leave the call for a second because I don't have to stream. It's Kai streaming it, which is nice. But yeah, so I guess I'll drop a link as well to Kai's Twitch channel below as well, where we will be co-streaming it. It's gonna be me, Kai, I believe Demacian Raptors co-streaming with us, who is, you know, very often rank 1 EU Northeast, sometimes rank 1 World. So a great gaggle of guys watching some TFT. It'll be a very fun time. But yeah, I mean, this is a pretty standard early game. I'm interested by that chain pickup, actually, that Dishsoap went for here. I wonder what that's for, because we can't really play, there's kind of only one comp that you can play from this position, which is AD Flex. You can't really play any of the reroll comps from IE Slam. I mean, theoretically, you could play like a Jazz reroll spot if we get something amazing, like if somehow we'd gotten a chosen MF in the shop, which is like impossible, but yeah, it's impossible, so how could you? I don't know. We have a couple options here, actually. Like, if we win the fight, we can make 20 gold and just disregard this Pantheon. But it looks like Dishsoap's going to say it's not worth it to disregard the Pantheon, too. I'd be pretty... I mean, you got to see if you lose or if you win the fight, first of all, here. But I'd be pretty tempted to just say, who cares about Pantheon here and make gold. But looks like Dishsoap cares more about the pair. Cares also about holding on to the Heartsteel units as well, I think, is the idea. He wants to, as you can see with the way he has them sorted, he cares about holding on to the K Sante as well, which, you know, prioritizing getting Heartsteel in, especially, oh my god, double Urgot shop is pretty nice. The only problem is it doesn't really fit on our board yet. Normally, you really like, kind of like that board that we just scouted there. You like getting in the set plus the Urgot, then you get Heartsteel in, and, you know, Bob's your uncle, everything's awesome. But we don't really have any Moshers to play around. I was like forgetting the name of the trait for a second. But yeah, we don't really have any moshers to play around. Oh, one more thing is this is probably the last YouTube video I'll put out until Sunday. Just because we have Worlds. Maybe I'll do some coverage of Worlds, like a VOD review of Worlds or something. But after Worlds, we go straight into Set 11 stuff. They're going to be previewing Set 11. They're going to do like a dev drop of Set 11. They've announced right after Worlds is over. So that'll be really sick. And then, you know, PvE is going to come out next week. I believe they said Tuesday is what they're shooting for. So yeah, we're going to really quickly jump from this into Set 11, which is awesome. I love that about TFT. I don't love any of these. Yeah, I guess we're going to pick up Silver Veil as the best option. It's not that bad in this comp, but I don't completely love it. I guess there's an idea that we could play Executioners from this. I mean, not really. Our items are pretty unmakeable for Executioners here. It's interesting that he ended up making Crown Guard. I mean, I guess, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of interesting. I mean, it's a fine item, but it's just not really something I would have prioritized. It's interesting. I mean, like Silver Veil is fine. It's definitely the best out of the options that we had, but I don't love it. It's nice with someone like a Zed when we're going to play into this AD flex idea, so it's not terrible. And we do win the fight, which allows us to pick up the Yone, which is really nice. The only downside to this position is, like, really not that rich. I'm kind of trying to figure out why we're not that rich. I mean, we're no econ augment, and we did make a 2-star 2-cost, and we didn't make 10 at the end of the last stage. We didn't make 20, I mean, at the end of the last stage. So I guess that's the culprit at the end of the day. Like, look how sweet this positioning is, by the way. Putting his Pantheon on the left side so the Senna targets it, and he eats 2 full Senna ults before the Senna starts ulting other units. Like, this stuff is like, you think it's small, but like he actually probably lost this fight if he clumped his front line here. And like a lot of people like wouldn't even think about something like that. They would put their units in the middle, they would lose to the Senna, and then say, oh man, like the game stinks. Like I just played against the Senna guy, their board is too strong. But like, Dishsoap, he knows he's gonna play into Senna. Senna is so prevalent in the meta here, and he knows that there's Sennas in his pool, so he just does exactly that. There's literally 2 Senna players in his pool, so just put the Pantheon on the left there, put your other units on the right here. He doesn't even full spread out, which I think is kind of wild, but I think it actually makes, oh my god, was that Senna 3 already? I think it was. But yeah, I think it actually makes perfect sense here. He just does this like slight spread here. Now he's gonna full spread because he has 4 units, but still he's gonna move over the Taric so that he's not eating that first Senna ult. He really doesn't want Taric to get Senna ulted early, because if he loses Sunfire early, that's losing all the heal cut and damage from that very quickly, which sucks. We want a pretty fast 7 here so that we can get Hearts. Ooh, so that we can get Heartsteel in. Oh my god, the roll here. But yeah, I think that makes perfect sense. I mean, now we've pivoted into this Misfortune. I'm interested about that roll once there. I guess the idea is if you hit Heartsteel, it's like you're in a really good spot. Ooh, and this is also pretty wild. We're gonna go for the double IE build on Misfortune. I mean, I guess his idea is that he kind of, it just kills both those items relatively well, and double IE is not even like bad on someone like Ezreal. It's like not like best in slot by any means, but it's not bad at all. And yeah, now we get the 5 Heartsteel in. Our board is looking really nice. We can get Sentinel in here with this Mordekaiser, and I think we'll probably see a 4-5 from Dishsoap. This is something that I think he likes doing a lot more than other players, is just waiting until 4-5 to actually roll here, because he knows he's like too broke to 4-2. Tier here, I guess, is looking at potential blue buff components. You really would have liked like Even Shroud here, but he can't pick it up here. So yeah, he is going to make the blue buff there. Hold the sword for maybe like a Gunblade or an Edge of Night for a Zed. And then this belt, yeah, War Monks would have been a fantastic slam, but then the problem is you have no you have no Shred, or Sunder is the AD version, which really hurts. So we're going to hold on to this belt for the Even Shroud. We are going to hold on to the sword for a Gunblade or an Edge of Night, and then yeah, we'll just 4-5 it. I really love New Recruit. I feel like this augment is just so insane late game like this, because it just guarantees that you hit everything that you like really care about. And we can guarantee, you know, that if we find Ezreal player, we have Ezreal too. If you Giga High Roll on 5 costs, you can play, you can make a 2-star 5 cost. Like, it's just everything. It's just everything that you could ever want. And it's an extra unit that you can play, which is so nice in this comp, because you can get in that extra jazz value. It allows you to say like fit in that Aphelios, or fit in, you know, the Bard or the Lucian you end up high rolling, or like the Ziggs. It just lets you, you know, fit it all, which is really nice. We are getting a little pounded here, which I am not the biggest fan of. We are getting an okay cash out here. Ooh, Tome of Traits. We have most of our traits in already, so I think you do pop this. Probably a rapid fire emblem if I had to guess here. so that like late game. Yeah, I mean, I think it's just one. It's a very solid trade to get in right now. It's attack speed to our entire team. And then also late game, it allows us to, I guess, cut the Aphelios, and then we just play around the normal Heartsteel units. So we just play around Set plus Ezreal plus the Yone, and then we don't have to care about Aphelios, but we still get Rapid Fire in, is the idea, I would think. So yeah, we need Even Shroud here, and we need Sword item here. It could also be GS. I think you do prio the Even Shroud here. Just guarantee that Shred, or Sunder, sorry. Just because it's so important. So yeah, we are going to pick up Even Shroud here, finish that. Imagine we're going to level here, sell the Misfortune, and then do our pivot. Just pick up the units that are good. EDMZ is a fantastic pickup. The Zac is also a fantastic pickup. Bard is a pretty good pickup as well. We do need to start getting our items down a little bit, so... yeah, our Rapid Fire just goes on anyone. I think Misfortune is fine. Need to slam the big items. Okay. We get everything down. Really nice. We want to get Even Shroud down as well here. And ooh, look at that. The blue buff double IE Zed here. He opts to slam these items on Zed, even though, I mean, this is not BIS Zed by any means. But he's going to put the items on Zed because it's headliner Zed. He has the remover, so we can always move those items to Ezreal later. And, you know, also he has the headliner buff. I think this is really smart stuff. We probably chill for one and then roll next round. Also really smart stuff. He's holding on to this Garen here, who's a unit that kind of bridges the gap into the Caitlyn version of the comp. All right, sorry about that. I got interrupted, but we are back. And yeah, I was just talking about the fact that he is flexing between, well, I mean, you guys know that I was already talking about because I interrupted myself. That he can flex between either version of the comp here, right? He can play the Ezreal version, he can play the Caitlyn version. He's already hit this Zed, so obviously we're probably going to stick with this Zed headliner for a while. But ooh, he does hit 8-bit Caitlyn. Low-key, ooh. Oh, this is interesting here. He's rolling pretty deep at 4-7. Huh. He's going to sort of forego a little bit of interest gold here just so that he can have time to pivot faster. And I mean, I think it actually makes a lot of sense here. Because he knows that he has to pop all of these anvils. This is something really smart that I think like a lot of people don't do. A lot of people like want to be the kind of person who like, they're like, oh, you know, I'm not going to start like early pivoting. And yeah, he really wants to get this Alawi in, but just a little bit too late to get it in there. And you could just play it over the Zac because we don't even have Zac too, so it's definitely better. We still want to keep the Mosher in for Poppy. But yeah, I mean, even with that amount of time, he still had a little bit of trouble pivoting quickly there, just because you have to make all of your items, you have to pop all of those anvils and figure it out. We still have this duplicator that could go to the Ezreal here. Yeah, I think that makes perfect sense. And then we're just going to TG this Alawi here, and then we just have to look for one final Zed item, and then we're going to be full items on everyone. Really happy with this setup here. We have good items on Ezreal, great items onto the Zed. Just need some kind of like damage item at this point onto the Zed because he's a little bit low damage with this setup here, but still not bad. And yeah, hovering over the Ziggs right now. Is there a way to fit? I mean, he's playing is there? Yeah, you can just fit the Ziggs in here. You lose Rapid Fire, but you get in Dazzler plus Hyper Pop. And looks like he's going to evaluate that the Ziggs is actually stronger here, which is pretty interesting. Or not that the Ziggs is strong, but that the Aphelios is strong here. I would think the two synergies, plus the fact that Ziggs is Ziggs would be better. But I mean, Rapid Fire is a fantastic synergy. It's really, I mean, these are the hardest things in TFT, is evaluating those tiny little things correctly. And Dishsoap says that the Rapid Fire is better here. Speaking of Rapid Fire, we are definitely still looking for the Lucian. We have not hit yet. We're, like I was talking about, looking for that final Zed item. Might have to be... Oh, he's going to go for the Morello, actually. Interesting. I was going to say it might have to be Steadfast Heart, which isn't amazing on Zed. We have no way of making a spell crit. But yeah, we're just going to go for the Morellos onto the Ziggs, then pivot this Rapid Fire emblem over. Obviously, we have no Rapid Fire in right now, but we're looking to potentially go 9, get the Lucian in, and then our board's going to be crazy. So yeah, I like this final pivot here. Now we pivot into the Ziggs because it's a unit that we can put Morellos on. He can split Morellos pretty well. And the reason why Morellos even does anything here, because you might say we already have Sunfire, why even care about Morellos? Well, Morellos is not going to hit Sunfire is not going to hit every target on this board. The most important thing is backline, right? The Ziggs is never going to, or the Poppy, I keep going back and forth between the Poppy and Ziggs. The Poppy is never going to hit backline with this Sunfire here. Look at that positioning. That was pretty interesting. I wonder why he brought that stuff back there for a second. Not sure. But yeah, the The Poppy is never going to hit backline with the Sunfire, whereas the Ziggs with the Morello is going to potentially hit backline. That might matter for stuff like Ezreal ult, if the Zed ends up getting to backline before our front line gets back there. So yeah, I think it's a really smart call out here. Going to pick up just a random item component here. A little bit sad of a cash out, but not the end of the world. And we're going to hold on to this Aphelios for the level up in case we don't find Lucian. Obviously, Lucian's amazing here, but Aphelios is like an okay unit just to get rapid fire in for sure. But yeah, obviously Lucian would be the ideal. Ooh, and another duplicated there is pretty wild here. Just going to pick up Starax here as our Zed item. Good enough. It provides that damage and some extra just everything. And he's even gonna wow, use the duplicator on set because he's just so afraid that this could potentially be our last fight. This Donnie G player is really, really low HP as well. So like this could actually just be the final fight, and this could determine if we're going top 3 versus a top 4. So make his board as strong as possible, makes the set 2. Is gonna win this fight pretty hard versus Chaos here, and Donnie G does go down, so it is a top 3. And now we're just going to keep rolling down. We finally find the Lucian here. Fantastic pickup. Like I said, it's rapid fire and 3 Chaz. Look how many synergies we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't know if there are any. There might be more after that. I'm trying to think of if there is anything else that's not showing. Rapid fire is not showing up there, right? So that's at least 9 synergies we have in. I don't think we have 10. No, Hyperpop doesn't show up. We have at least 10. Maybe there's more, but yeah, we have at least 10 in with the 3 Jazz, which is insane value. I'm going to pick up the win there. And yeah, at this point, we're just going to sit for 1 round and then probably roll next round, try to pick up something like a Lucian 2-star. Sadly, we used our duplicator on the set, but I think it actually made a lot of sense with the perspective that we could potentially just lose that fight, die, and then go 3rd, which would suck really badly. But yeah, going to fight Clone here, which is actually really, really nice. We should always beat a Clone here with how strong our board is. It's actually relatively hard for the Seraphine board to beat ours, I would say, just because of the fact that Seraphine is a very low single target. I didn't get a chance to see what the rest of their board looks like. We have tier open, so you could... Ooh, the emo spat. Yeah, that is so, so nice. Wow, I wonder if when he picked up the tier, he was thinking about this. I'm sure he was because he's Dishsoap, but he was probably already thinking about the idea that he could potentially get a spat off Carousel, make emo spat here with the tier that he got off the random anvil. I mean, that is so clutch. That is such a... And that like actually spikes his board very, very hard, the emo spat versus the no emo spat. Just, I mean, beautiful stuff from Dishsoap. The only thing that kind of sucks here, we didn't get our even shroud swapped to the right side. It ends up actually being fine because that just walks into the back line and kills everything. So it kind of works out here. We do infinite damage to Chaos. North Kara Soju dies here. We get a cash out here, which is a little bit of gold, which is going to be a Bard too. And we got 1 more fight left. Us versus Chaos here. The Seraphine board, we are going to have to fight the real one here. And the biggest, big scary thing here is this Ari. We just don't want our Zed to get... the Ari gets stuck on our Zed. We're opposite side from the Ari, which is fantastic here. Burst through the front line, Zed gets to back line, and it is an easy dub for Mr. Dishsoap. What a nice, I mean, another first, is this guy just the god of TFT? Like, oh, I can't wait to watch him play at Worlds. I really hope there's no like, oh man, he like Giga low rolls 3 games and goes 8th and he's out of Worlds. Because like, I really, like, NA Stan aside, like Dishsoap could win Worlds. He could very... Oh wait, there is no day 1 at Worlds. There's day 1 and 2, and then they eliminate. Dishsoap's winning Worlds. It's confirmed. I'll see you guys in the next video. Go check out my Tactor guide down below. Catch you guys later.